Let's do a little bit of brainstorming using Google, specifically Google Trends. Now here you can see I have three search terms: solar energy, organic farming, and eco-friendly vehicles. What I'm doing here is I'm comparing the search terms, and this is really starting off sort of the idea here, the thought process, or the brainstorm. As you can see, solar energy, as far as what is trending over time, or the interest that Google has seen in that keyword, versus organic farming and eco-friendly vehicles, is the automatic winner, or it appears to be the automatic winner. But you also need to understand what you're doing here is you're comparing the breakdown by subregion. Now you can see that is the United States. If you go up here, you can actually change this drop down and you can go worldwide, or you can select other countries. We'll just go ahead and we'll just stick in the United States because I want to take a look during this brainstorm session and say compared breakdown by regions. Here we're looking for interest in solar energy. Here you can see Maine, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, South Dakota, Wyoming. Of course, again, these are states in the U.S. They're interested in solar energy, versus if we were to look at organic farming, we'd be targeting Iowa, Montana, Oregon, Louisiana, North Dakota, or these regions, or thinking about the type of content that we're creating focused on specific regions based upon the fact that organic farmers are more interested, or people in Iowa, Montana, Oregon, Louisiana, and North Dakota are more interested in organic farming than they were solar energy. And of course, eco-friendly vehicles, Kansas, Missouri, North Carolina, Virginia, District of Columbia. Here we can see related queries, and I think this is probably the best place to really dive deep when you're talking about brainstorming, is looking at these related queries. Again, we're looking at this idea and we're saying, what is being talked about right now on Google? Or to say that another way, when we're looking at Google Trends, what are people typing into Google? What are they looking for? Because ultimately what we're doing as marketers is we are looking for what is trending. What is trending right now? What is consistently trending? And of course, we can think about those regions like we looked and we saw in those different states for those particular topics. But we can also think about what type of year when we see spikes, and we can plan accordingly. But here, we're looking at related queries. Explore which of the following graphs best predicts the solar energy output in the country in the northern hemisphere in December. Then we have some additional queries here. For example, compass solar energy, or which played a major role in altering wind patterns and ocean currents, volcanic eruptions, ice age movements of continents, solar flares. So you can see there something about solar flares and other things that are happening on the planet when we're talking about solar energy, compared to what we're looking at for organic farming, and again, related queries to let us dive deeper into the niche. Brainstorm, go deeper, figure out the topic, and really think about what people are searching for, which also leads us to what we see here for eco-friendly vehicles. We don't have enough data. And what it says here and what this brainstorming session is telling us, off the top of our head, we said eco-friendly vehicles. It meant something to me. And it meant to me, or what I was thinking was along that same lines of solar energy, and then thinking people that are interested in solar energy and organic farming, they're interested in eco-friendly vehicles. But you can see that please make sure everything is spelled correctly, or try a more general search term. So we don't get those related queries because simply eco-friendly vehicles, and again, going back to the graph and the interest over time, you can see that it is literally zero. So therefore, the eco-friendly vehicle search term is not the right term. So using Google to brainstorm, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy that. And quick note, if you don't know how to get to trends.google, simply just type trends into your Google search and you will see here that it will come up, and you can click here. It'll take you over to trends.google.com. But back to focusing on how Google can help us. What we're going to do is we are simply going to enter the search term that we've been looking for, eco-friendly vehicles. Here you can see eco-friendly vehicle examples, but you can see that it is not hyphenated. So what we want to do here is we want to click on eco-friendly vehicles, and we can see the types of vehicles that make up the list that we have here And again, this is model specific, but it also shows you what Google currently thinks. So when you're brainstorming what are people looking for when they're looking for eco-friendly vehicles, in this case, examples. But also, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take out that hyphen. We're going to go back to our Google Trends, and what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to update this search term. So I'm simply going to click there and go edit, and then when we edit, we're going to enter that without the hyphen, and we're going to see if that changes things. So you're going to see this is going to update, and then once that updates, we're going to have that information again here in the graph, but you can see it is still 0. So that keyword just simply doesn't have any search volume. So you can see that what we want to do now, if we're brainstorming that and we want to stick with this eco-friendly vehicles idea, we can get a little deeper and we can go to Google Bard. This is their AI, this is their AI experiment. And we can simply type in eco-friendly vehicles and let's just see what the AI gives us. Again, we're just brainstorming. Understand that all I'm doing is simply going to Google because I have an idea. I have 3 ideas. I have 3 niche ideas or 3 topics or 3 things that I'm wondering what Google knows about. Here you can see eco-friendly vehicles. Here you can see that it hyphenated it, so we are on the right track there. The search volume just appears to be low for that keyword. But you can see here the types of articles or the types of content that we would need to create. So on one hand, it says, okay, there is information out there about eco-friendly vehicles, but what are they looking for? What are the keywords? So let's go back to Bard here for a second and say, and I went ahead and queried the AI Bard, the Google experiment. What are some other keywords or topics that people are searching for around the keyword eco-friendly vehicles? It's thinking about in the background, here are some other keywords or topics that people are searching for around the keyword eco-friendly vehicles. Then you can see here, best eco-friendly vehicles, types, benefits, government incentives. And again, this is the idea around here of sustainability, climate change, air pollution, green living, going with topics and the ideas really that we're trying to compare. Or in my mind, what I started with Google Trends is a comparison of solar energy, organic farming, or eco-friendly vehicles, because really they are in the same niche. They are in the niche around a group of people that have a problem or a perceived problem where they want to be friendly to the environment, most likely. Or they're trying to save money, or they're doing both. And that's sort of the idea and the angle. So we go back to Bard and we explore this a little further. And we can see here that people are interested in electrical vehicles. So eco-friendly vehicles, we might change this to electric vehicles and copy that. Go back here and change this search term and see if we get a little extra volume. Because again, at the end of the day, as marketers, what we're doing, we're looking for keywords or terms, but we're trying to focus in on those keywords and terms, understand what niche they're in or what specific topic we can talk about to generate traffic. Because ultimately we're looking for offers and we're thinking, okay, let's see if we have enough search volume, meaning we have enough traffic, people looking up or having questions and looking up these search terms. And you can see here instantly what happened now is electric vehicles is gone from 0 when we were looking for eco-friendly vehicles and we focus on electrical vehicles, it went to 31 from 0. So I wouldn't give up on eco-friendly vehicles, but I would focus more on looking and researching around electrical vehicles or electric vehicles, because here you can see that search term has now a volume of, or an average volume or interest over time. And you can see that yellow line in the middle is representing the electric vehicles, and organic farming is now below that in the red line. Of course, here, if you scroll down, you'll see electrical vehicles. Now we are looking at the different types of queries. For example, Wyoming ban on electric vehicles, the inconvenient truth about electrical vehicles, and electrical vehicles are bringing out the worst in U.S. and what components of an electrical vehicle are considered high voltage. All these questions, again, for those regions, but you can also see here, you can sort on these queries, rising and or top. And Google is giving you all this information right here inside of Trends. And again, this is a brainstorming session to say, okay, now we can generate some content. So let's go back to a search here and we can say, okay, let's look for electrical vehicles. And here we have advantages, we have pros and cons, climate change, sustainability. So let's go ahead and click on electrical vehicle advantages. And we're just looking here. And now we're also going to see more information from Google and the AI. Generative AI is experimental. Here you can see now that we are getting information and we're looking at environmental benefits, cost savings, performance benefits, other benefits. But you can also see some disadvantages down here, which is giving us more ideas about what kind of content we should be creating, the focus and the different angles, the idea and the concept of if we were to pick this topic based upon what we saw inside of Google Trends and these comparisons, because we are comparing solar energy to organic farming to electrical vehicles because these things interest us, or this topic of sustainability, of helping the environment and or saving money. The thought process here was my idea, my big brainstorm for this video was to think around this idea, this concept of trending topics. Take a look at what Google Trends says about solar energy, organic farming, electrical vehicles, and say which one of these should I probably pay attention to, or which one of these can I combine? And looking at this and thinking solar energy and electrical vehicles, they kind of probably go hand in hand, generating green energy, solar, generating electricity to power electric vehicles, probably go hand in hand better. Or based on the trends that we see here, they have more search volume, people are more interested in it, but also this might show you that it might be too competitive, so you might want to go for organic farming. Which at that case, if you were to go ahead and go down here and say, okay, let's take a little closer look at organic farming. Then here you can see what percentage of young farmers are farming sustainably. If you click on that, that's going to allow you here inside of Google Trends to deep dive on what is called a long tail keyword. What percentage of young farmers are farming sustainably? You can see the interest over time of this doesn't quite compare, or it is lower because it is longer tail, meaning it is more precise and exact. But you can also come down here and see the interest by subregion, Illinois, Georgia, New Jersey, New York, and again, more related queries. And you can see how deeper this goes. When Chipotle invests in young farmers, we're investing in the future of real food. You can see here that this or these related topics around farming has dove into and something that you may not have thought of, focusing in on this restaurant and maybe the fact that restaurants are green. Restaurants are looking at this idea of organic farming and buying food from them to serve a population. So that might be something that you definitely want to dive into. And that's what Trends is allowing you to do. Trends is allowing you to explore and compare. And by looking at this interest over time graph, giving you an idea of when, where, and who is actually doing the searching, and looking at the volume to think about how profitable this is based on that search volume. And again, we're looking at Google holistically to say, what are people searching for? So you can go to Google, and again, we have electrical vehicle advantages that we went after, and you can see the generative AI experiment is giving you information here, and also you have the traditional searches that you can see down here to include more to ask, and then scholarly articles, everything that you probably want to know about this topic, as well as some additional queries down here that people are looking for. And that's the idea. Simply a brainstorming session to take a look at Google. Also going to Google Bard and starting there and seeing where we started with the idea of eco-friendly vehicles. And then scrolling down and looking at something more specific where we were talking about, and we saw what are some other keywords or topics that people are searching for around the keyword eco-friendly vehicles. Then let's take this brainstorming session a little further, a little deeper for us as marketers, specifically as affiliate marketers. What do solar energy, organic farming, and electrical vehicles have in common when thinking about creating content as an affiliate marketer? Solar energy, organic farming, and electrical vehicles are all sustainable and eco-friendly products and services. They are also becoming increasingly popular as people become more aware of the need to reduce their environmental impact. Here you can see this makes them all great topics for affiliate marketers to create content around. There's a large and growing audience of people who are interested in learning more about these products and services. Here are some ideas, and this brainstorming session you can see has taken us from starting with Google Trends, looking to see what kind of volume we have, who and where and what people are interested in, but taking this back to Bard and saying, okay, Now, as an affiliate marketer, how do I capitalize on these topics? Product reviews, how-to guides, comparison guides, blog posts, videos. When creating content for affiliate marketing, it is important to choose products and services that you are passionate about. This will make it easier for you to create information and engaging content that your readers may enjoy. It is also important to disclose your affiliate relationships to the readers. This is required by law. It also helps to build trust. By following these tips, you can create affiliate marketing content that is informative, engaging, and compliant with applicable laws and regulations. All great information, but you can see how we got there simply in this brainstorming session of just utilizing free tools from Google, Google Trends, Google itself, the AI experiment, and Bard to simply ask it questions. For example, when we started, we had 3 topics. How did those topics combine? How do we think about creating something or thinking about how we could create information around all 3 top topics and target a very specific audience? Google Bard went ahead and showed us that, and we saw all that in a simple brainstorming session using Google Trends to start, but ultimately just using what Google has already given us. Based on all the data that it has out there and it freely shares with us, it shares with everyone, but us as marketers, we know how to use these tools and we know how to apply what we see from these tools and think logically about using this information to create content that we can create inside of a profitable niche that we found during this brainstorming session. Got any questions? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.